The Disabled People's Rights Plan Wales 2025 to 2035. Ministerial Foreword. We're proud to present this Disabled People's Rights Plan for Wales, which will help us to advance the rights and opportunities of disabled people in Wales, remove barriers, and challenge the prejudice and discrimination they face. Life for disabled people is often difficult, fraught with daily challenges and systemic barriers that impede their ability to participate in and contribute to society fully. These challenges limit disabled people's opportunities and can erode their sense of belonging and inclusion. This plan sets out our ambition for a Wales where disabled people can enjoy equitable rights, inclusion, and participation. At the heart of our approach is the social model of disability, which helps us to understand how disabled people can be held back by the world around them and how we can make the world easier for everyone to be part of. We are also guided by the principles and obligations of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Disabled People. The barriers disabled people face can range from inaccessible buildings and services that aren't adjusted to meet their needs, through to some people's attitudes towards them. We are committed to continuing to remove these barriers to create an inclusive and accessible society for all. Our commitments are outlined in 3 key documents: this 10-year plan, which lays out the long-term ambitions, the actions that we will implement in this government term, and a progress report showcasing some of the achievements so far and our ongoing work to achieve positive outcomes for disabled people, such as our Hate Hurts campaign and our Disabled People's Transport Advisory Committee. We thank everyone who supported the development of this plan through the Disability Rights Task Force and its working groups, and we thank Professor Debbie Foster for her leadership as Task Force co-chair. The Task Force worked extensively to consider the challenges identified in the Locked Out, Liberating Disabled People's Lives and Rights in Wales Beyond COVID-19 report, and their recommendations have heavily influenced this plan. This plan can only succeed if organisations and people across Wales work together to deliver it. We'll set up an external advisory board to provide advice and support on the implementation, delivery and impact of the Disabled People's Rights Plan. Achieving our ambition of a Wales where disabled people can live, work and flourish as equal citizens requires a concerted effort. Together we can make a difference by removing barriers facing disabled people and challenging the discrimination and prejudice disabled people continue to face every day. By upholding the rights of disabled people and ensuring their voices are heard and acted upon, we can together create an inclusive society. Jane Hutt, MS, Cabinet Secretary for Social Justice, Trefnydd and Chief Whip. Eluned Morgan, MS, Prif Weinidog, First Minister of Wales. 1. Introduction. The Welsh Government is committed to supporting a society where diversity is embraced and valued for the positive impact it has. Disabled people bring different perspectives, skills and expertise, which it is important to value, recognise and strengthen. In 2021, the proportion of disabled people in Wales was 21%, 670,000 people. The proportion of disabled people within the population increased with age, and females were more likely than males to report being disabled. We know disabled people face multiple forms of discrimination and exclusion in education, employment, health, housing, transport, and more. Of the working age population in 2023, disabled people were more likely to have no qualifications, 14%, than non-disabled people, 6%. Employment rates for disabled people aged 16 to 64 are 31 percentage points lower than non-disabled people, 2023 to 24. 1 in 4 disabled people or people with a limiting long-standing illness lived in a household in material deprivation, compared with 1 in 10 people who were not disabled, 2022 to 23. This plan sets out our cross-government 10-year framework, which expresses our ambition and the outcomes we are trying to achieve to ensure disabled people can flourish as equal members of Welsh society and to challenge discrimination and prejudice. All organisations across Wales and people themselves need to work together to realise this ambition. This plan is supported by 2 further documents described below. The first outlines the progress made so far. The second contains the short-term actions that will be delivered in this government term. The plan has been structured against 4 overarching areas for action, which are aligned to one of the 7 National Wellbeing Goals of the Wellbeing of Future Generations Wales Act: neighbourhoods and places, employment, income and education, independent living, and justice and supporting environments. For each of these areas for action, this plan sets out our overarching ambitions and outcomes we want to see over the next 10 years. It will be for future governments to consider the outcomes and how best they are achieved over this period. The Welsh Government is already making significant progress to deliver the overarching ambitions. This progress and our ongoing work are described in the Disabled People's Rights Plan Wales, our progress to support our ambition. The short-term actions Welsh Government will take towards achieving the long-term outcomes set out in the plan are outlined in the Disabled People's Rights Plan Wales, our short-term actions. Future governments will set the medium to long-term actions they will take to achieve the ambition and outcomes for disabled people set out in this 10-year plan. This plan replaces Welsh Government's action on disability, the right to independent living. While many positive actions have been delivered through this plan, we are committed to continuing the conversation on improving outcomes for disabled people in Wales. Further information on this plan is available. 1.1 Our overarching ambition. The Welsh Government is committed to promoting the rights of disabled people and to ensure disabled people are included and able to participate in all communities in Wales. We want to make Wales an inclusive and accessible place for disabled people, a society where disabled people can participate without limits or restrictions and are empowered to lead fulfilling lives, where their individual and collective rights are recognised and upheld, and where their contribution is recognised. This section of the plan sets out the overarching ambitions for the long-term change for disabled people against the 4 overarching areas for action. 1.1.1 Neighbourhoods and places. The overarching ambitions for neighbourhoods and places are: an accessible transport system ensures that our transport networks are safe, welcoming and inclusive. We empower people to use public transport with confidence and ease. Disabled people help transport services to understand the barriers they face in using transport and having effective governance mechanisms in place to make sure we achieve our ambition. An accessible housing system integrates inclusive policy development with seamless service delivery and information provision, reducing barriers to accessible housing and safeguarding the rights and needs of disabled residents from all backgrounds. Accessible communities ensure that disabled people can freely use public amenities and spaces without barriers and actively promotes disabled people's full involvement within the local community through coordinated support from public, private and third sectors. 1.1.2 Employment, income and education. The overarching ambitions for employment, income and education are: an inclusive approach to employment, volunteering income, and public procurement supports disabled people to have equal access to fulfilling and fair work through the adoption of inclusive working practices, greater opportunities for skills development, and improved access to self-employment support. Disabled children and young people can access their right to education and feel safe and included within their educational settings, where their educational needs are identified and responded to, as well as through learning that reflects disabled people's needs, experiences, and rights. 1.1.3 Independent Living. The overarching ambitions for independent living are reduce socio-economic inequalities among disabled people, including access to welfare benefits that enable independent living at a level to meet living costs. Disabled people lead fulfilling lives, enjoying rights to well-being and independent living. Health and social care systems are accessible, and the social model of disability is embedded across health and social care commissioners and providers to ensure that individual needs are met and rights are protected. 1.1.4 Justice and supporting environments. The overarching ambitions for justice and supporting environments are disabled people have the autonomy to express themselves and engage in enriching experiences within their local communities and alongside their peers, doing so in the language of their preference and without fear of unnecessary obstacles or exclusion. Disabled people's experiences with the legal and justice systems, both civil and criminal, are improved through better coordinated services, knowledge of rights, responsive support for abuse survivors, and robust evidence-based improvements. Disabled people's rights and experiences are championed, supported by disabled people's organisations, inclusive public services, and a Welsh Government that values and enshrines their rights in policy and law to create a truly inclusive society. 1.2 Disability Rights Task Force. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted the lives of people across the globe, intensifying inequalities and socio-economic disadvantage. In Wales, COVID disproportionately impacted some communities. In July 2021, the Locked Out Liberating Disabled People's Lives and Rights in Wales Beyond COVID-19 report highlighted the inequalities experienced by disabled people in society. One of the responses to the report was to set up the Disability Rights Task Force, a partnership between Welsh Government and stakeholders and co-chaired by the Cabinet Secretary for Social Justice, Trefnydd, and Chief Whip Jane Hutt, MS, and Professor Debbie Foster, Cardiff University and author of the Locked Out Report. The task force formed 10 thematic working groups to recommend action that would improve disabled people's lives. These were embedding an understanding of the social model of disability across Wales, access to services including communications and technology, independent living social care, independent living health, travel, employment and income, affordable and accessible housing, children and young people, access to justice, well-being as a workshop. The task force operated on the principle of co-production with over 350 external stakeholders and 200 Welsh Government policy officials working together to develop recommendations aimed at improving outcomes and ensuring the rights of which disabled people in Wales are fully realised. Disabled people were active partners and leaders in the task force's process, sharing insights and lived experiences which have shaped actions to address disabled people's rights and dismantle existing barriers. The principle of nothing about us without us is essential for ensuring that disabled people are actively involved in matters that affect their lives. This mantra was adopted by disabled people and supporting organisations because historically disabled people have been told what is best for them rather than ask themselves. The task force's co-produced recommendations have been used to inform the actions and outcomes of this important plan. These recommendations will continue to be an important resource that Welsh Government can return to in the future to set out its medium to long-term actions to deliver the ambition and outcomes for disabled people set out in this 10-year plan. 1.3. Overarching approaches to developing this plan. Alongside the important work and recommendations of the task force, the development of this plan has been guided by wider considerations, principles, obligations and objectives, which are set out below. 1.3.1 Working with disabled people. Working with disabled people is essential for advancing an inclusive, equitable and thriving society. Collaborating with disabled people to address the real issues and challenges they face ensures policies are effective and more likely to achieve the intended outcome that respect the rights and contribution of disabled people. Disabled people's organisations across Wales have a strategic role in promoting the rights of disabled people in Wales. We continue to fund Disability Wales, the National Association of Disabled People's Organisations in Wales. Disabled People's Organisations' expertise and value is supporting the Welsh Government and its policy development. 1.3.2 Independent Living. Independent living means all disabled people having the same freedom, dignity, choice and control as other citizens, whether in their home environment, at work, in education and in the community. It does not mean having to live by yourself or do everything for yourself. It means rights to practical assistance and support to participate fully in society on the same basis as others, as well as voice, choice and control over how this is provided. It is about ensuring people of all ages and from all communities can enjoy well-being and access appropriate support when and how they need it. This is underpinned by Article 19 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Disabled People, ratified by the UK in 2009, under which disabled people have the right to live in the community with choices equal to others. This includes the opportunity to choose their place of residence and with whom they live, without being obliged to live in a particular arrangement. Additionally, community services and facilities available to the general population must also be accessible and responsive to the needs of disabled people. 1.3.3 Equality. Understanding how a person's identity aspects like gender, race and disability combine to create unique discrimination experiences improves policy development. It enables policymakers to recognise and address the complex and interconnected nature of individuals' identities and personal experiences. The Equality Act 2010 requires employers and service providers to make reasonable adjustments to remove disadvantages faced by disabled people. This duty ensures that disabled individuals have equal access to services, employment and public functions. Failure to make these adjustments may be considered unlawful discrimination. As part of our duties under the Equality Act, the Welsh Government has 7 national equality objectives. These are: National Equality Objective 1. We will create a Wales where everyone has opportunities to prosper in line with our organisational goal to reduce poverty. National Equality Objective 2. We will create a Wales where everyone can be aware of their human rights and where those rights are protected, promoted and underpin all public policy. National Equality Objective 3. We will create a Wales where everyone can be aware of and has equitable access to high-quality public services. National Equality Objective 4. We will create a Wales free from discrimination, victimisation, harassment, abuse, hate crime and/or bullying against all people. National Equality Objective 5. We will create a Wales where everyone from the full diversity of backgrounds can participate in public life, have their voices heard, and see themselves reflected in leadership positions. National Equality Objective 6. We will create a Wales with fair and equal opportunities to gain employment and for fair and equal treatment in the workplace, including fair pay and conditions. National Equality Objective 7. We will create an environmentally sustainable Wales with the capacity to both ensure our journey to net zero is fair and to respond to the inequitable impacts of climate change. The Wellbeing of Future Generations Wales Act is about improving the social, economic, environmental and cultural well-being of Wales. The Act gives a legally binding common purpose, the 7 wellbeing goals for national government, local health boards and other specified public bodies. It details the ways in which specified public bodies must work and work together to improve the well-being of Wales. This plan will support the well-being goals of prosperous Wales, resilient Wales, healthier Wales, more equal Wales, and a Wales of cohesive communities. 1.3.4 United Nations Convention on the Rights of Disabled People, UNCRDP. The UK ratified this convention in 2009 to uphold and promote the rights of disabled people. Throughout this plan, we refer to the convention as the Convention on the Rights of Disabled People, or UNCRDP, rather than the given name, Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. This is to reflect our commitment to the social model of disability, which is discussed in more detail below. Through the efforts of the Legislative Options Working Group, the Welsh Government is continuing to explore how to embed the UNCRDP in Wales. In each of the 4 key areas, this long-term plan outlines how its actions and outcomes support the principles outlined in the relevant articles of the UNCRDP. By aligning our actions and outcomes with these principles, we aim to ensure that our plan promotes the access to rights and inclusion intended by the Convention for all disabled people in Wales. In 2024, United Nations report on the rights of persons with disabilities underscores several critical areas where the UK must enhance the lives of disabled individuals. The report advocates for comprehensive strategies to address labour shortages in disability and mental health services and highlights the necessity of sufficient personal assistance, recreational support and accessible transportation. It emphasises the need to improve social security arrangements, including detailed assessments and benefit adjustments to cover disability-related costs. It also calls for targeted support for marginalised groups to guarantee independent living and underscores the importance of preventing the institutionalisation of disabled people due to inadequate community support. In Wales, the Welsh Government is responsible for devolved areas like health, education and some areas of travel, while social security remains a UK government responsibility. A unified cross-government effort is required to resolve some of the cross-cutting issues for all disabled people in the UK. The work to make the grants and benefits that are governed by Welsh Government, sometimes known as Welsh Benefits, as easy to claim as possible, has positive potential for disabled people in Wales. The introduction in January 2024 of the Welsh Benefits Charter, which has been adopted by all 22 Welsh local authorities, signified a culture shift towards a more coherent, person-centred design and delivery of Welsh benefits and grants, based upon rights and entitlements. The Welsh Government, working collaboratively with its partners, are turning the Charter commitments into reality, which will ensure everyone is treated equally and fairly without discrimination, and that all partners follow the social model of disability when administering Welsh benefits. 1.3.5 The social model of disability. The social model of disability focuses on societal barriers rather than impairments, advocating for the same rights for disabled people as their peers. The social model of disability shifts responsibility to society, calling for the removal of barriers structural, cultural, and discriminatory, which hold back disabled people's participation. Structural barriers include inaccessible buildings. Cultural barriers arise from attitudes, beliefs, and practices within a society that leads to exclusion, discrimination, and prejudices favouring non-disabled people. By challenging these views, society can demonstrate that being disabled is not negative, and society and communities are stronger and more cohesive with a diversity of people, including disabled people. This model empowers disabled people to claim their rights and celebrates their diversity and contributions. 1.3.6 Discrimination and Prejudice. Disabled people often experience discrimination that favours non-disabled people. This is known by many as ableism. This can show in a failure to provide accessible infrastructure such as ramps and accessible toilets, accessible communication and information such as large print letters. Additionally, some disabled people face deliberate discrimination such as exclusion and insults. Discrimination can have profound consequences for disabled people, including isolation, reduced life opportunities, and emotional harm. To address these issues, we need societal changes, including the design of inclusive spaces, spreading awareness, and ensuring equality for everyone. 1.3.7 British Sign Language. BSL is a distinct language with unique grammar, syntax, and vocabulary, and is the first or preferred language for many deaf people in Wales. It was recognised by the UK government in 2003 as an official language, and the British Sign Language Act 2022 helps to ensure public services and information are accessible to BSL signers. BSL was recognised as a language of Wales in 2004 by the then Assembly Government, and we remain committed to ensuring the deaf BSL signing community is fully included and empowered in all aspects of Welsh society. Recognising BSL as a minority language is essential for their well-being and human rights. The Welsh Government recognises the challenges faced by deaf BSL signers and the need to overcome these to prevent prejudice and exclusion. This plan emphasises the need for participation from both the government and the deaf BSL community in designing, delivering and evaluating relevant policies and services. 1.3.8 Welsh Language. The Welsh Government Strategy for Welsh Language, Cymraeg 2050, aims for 1 million Welsh speakers and a doubling of the daily use of the Welsh language by 2050. We believe that the Welsh language, Cymraeg, belongs to us all, wherever we are on our Welsh language journey. Cymraeg is more than just a matter of cultural identity and diversity. It's also about social inclusion and equality. Disabled Welsh speakers may face extra barriers in accessing services, education and employment in Welsh. Technology can help people with specific needs use Cymraeg. This could include disabled people, older people, people with additional learning needs, or people with needs resulting from a medical treatment, a cognitive or a physical impairment. This isn't just about use of Cymraeg, it's about making people able to use the Welsh they have with no extra steps and without causing them additional challenges. In line with the active offer principle in our More Than Just Words plan for embedding the Welsh language in health and social care, the responsibility lies on health and care providers to offer services in Welsh rather than the patient or service user having to request them. In our policy statement on Welsh language technology, January 2025, the Welsh Government has committed to work to help everyone use more of their Cymraeg in tools where Welsh isn't supported to the degree it needs to be, for example in specific software for disabled people. We also recognise the importance of ensuring that our Welsh medium spaces, such as Eisteddfodau, our grant-funded activities and cultural festivals, are accessible and inclusive to all disabled people. 2. Neighbourhoods and places. To achieve the long-term overarching ambitions for neighbourhoods and places described in Chapter 1, this chapter sets out the outcomes we expect to see over a 10-year period as a result of the actions we must all take to ensure our neighbourhood and places are inclusive, so that disabled people can thrive. Neighbourhoods and places is made up of the following themes: travel, housing, and the social model of disability. 2.1 Travel. Outcome 1. Accessible transport services. Transport services and travel infrastructure are inclusive, interconnected, and equipped to support disabled people's right to full participation within the communities in which they live and society more broadly. Outcome 2. Supporting staff. Those involved at all levels of the planning, development, and delivery of transport services and infrastructure have training and resources available to understand and address the travel needs of disabled people and deliver against their own obligations under equality law and in line with the social model of disability. Outcome 3. Inclusive policy. Policymaking involves disabled people in the design and delivery of Wales's transport networks, ensuring that the needs of all disabled people are embedded across transport modes and providers at its earliest stages. Outcome 4. Accessible information. Travel information is available in a range of communication forms, including British Sign Language, designed to enable disabled people to plan, book, and embark on their journeys without barriers, and protect their right to seek and receive information. Outcome 5. Effective governance. Establish effective governance mechanisms that focus on delivering inclusive and accessible travel for people in Wales, ensuring that their lived experience is valued and acted upon, working with industry partners and across transport modes. The outcomes above align to Article 9 of UNCRDP, which sets out that countries need to take appropriate measures to ensure disabled people have access on an equal basis with others to the physical environment, to transportation, to information and communications, including information and communications technologies and systems, and to other facilities and services open or provided to the public, both in urban and in rural areas. Inaccessible travel remains a significant issue for disabled people who often face numerous challenges to inclusive transportation, such as obstructions to pathways and at bus stops, especially those stops that are pull-in, with a lack of drop curbs and malfunctioning lifts at railway stations. This is recognised in the Wales Transport Strategy and Plan, which highlights the lack of available affordable or nearby transport as a barrier to accessing employment services and leisure to some individuals, in particular older and disabled people, who may also require a door-to-door service. These uncertainties can impact disabled people's confidence and trust when moving around communities. Disabled adults or those with a limiting long-standing illness are less likely to report feeling safe walking in their local area or travelling, 56%, than non-disabled people, 70%. In an increasingly digital world, ensuring accessible travel requires more than just focusing on physical spaces. Now, individuals must also navigate online platforms and digital ticketing systems to move from one location to another. Accessible and inclusive end-to-end journey planning must improve, and particularly in rural areas where access to transport is often worse. Disabled people often feel their needs are forgotten in the design of transport infrastructure. This can include cycle lanes close to pedestrian walking areas, for example. Research by Guide Dogs UK shows that some cycle lane designs at bus stops pose significant safety risks for people with visual impairments and other disabled people. These designs reduce access to activities and independence and pose considerable risk to disabled people's safety, highlighting the need for better, inclusive transport infrastructure designing and planning to promote active travel while avoiding these risks and improving access for all. The Welsh Government is committed to improving travel for disabled people in Wales and will commence work to establish its first multimodal disabled people's inclusive travel panel during 2025 to 26. This will help ensure that the rights and voices of disabled people are central to shaping transport policies. By integrating their perspectives and expertise, we aim to create an inclusive transport infrastructure that respects and upholds the rights of all disabled people. Some passenger assist schemes are inadequate and fail to recognise disabled people's needs. Transport for Wales, TfW, has a vital role to play in ensuring inclusive and accessible travel for all disabled people using its rail services. Welsh Government will work with TfW to embed the social model of disability, placing the emphasis on removing any barriers into its culture and services by ensuring all frontline staff receive training and information on the model. Bus services, taxis, and private hire vehicles are all critical to supporting disabled people's access to essential activities including work, health appointments, and leisure. Taxis and private hire vehicles are often the only way many disabled people can move around their towns and cities due to the lack of fully accessible public transport. We want a taxi and private hire vehicle PHV licensing system that is fit for a modern Wales, promotes safety for passengers and drivers, contributes to a cleaner environment, improves the customer experience, and is accessible by all. The Welsh Government is committed to working with disabled people to better understand the existing community transport provision and identify any gaps in transport services for disabled people. 2.2 Housing. Outcome 1. Information and awareness. Disabled people are aware of their housing rights and the options available to them regarding accessible housing and the provision of supporting services. Outcome 2. Availability of accessible housing. More adapted and accessible housing is available, affordable, equipped and appropriately located to meet the needs of disabled residents, with sufficient supply of quality accommodation available to help meet demand and reduce waiting times. Outcome 3. Accessible housing services. More accessible housing services, including application processes, are seamless and transparent, operating under a holistic, whole-system approach to reduce barriers to housing for disabled residents and ensuring protection of the most vulnerable groups, for example, those experiencing homelessness or fleeing violence. Outcome 4. Inclusive policy. Housing strategy and related policy is developed through the involvement of disabled people and considerate of intersectional needs. Outcome 5. Effective governance. Housing services and support for disabled people are well governed and held accountable through the relevant mechanisms of monitoring, regulation, enforcement and data collection. Outcome 6. Supportive staff. All involved in the development and delivery of matters relating to accessible housing, including elected officials, public sector employees, housing providers and landlords, are appropriately informed on the social model of disability and the needs of disabled people. The outcomes above align to Article 28 of the UNCRDP, which sets out disabled people's rights to an adequate standard of living and social protection. It recognises the rights of disabled people to an adequate standard of living for themselves and their families, including adequate housing and access by disabled people to public housing programmes. Having accessible information on housing is crucial for disabled people. Welsh Government is committed to improving access to housing information for disabled people, including those who are digitally excluded. By providing accessible and inclusive information, we can empower disabled people to make informed decisions about where and how they live and improve equitable access to housing opportunities. This approach helps to prevent loneliness and isolation, promotes well-being and independence, and supports the full inclusion of disabled people in the community. Ensuring disabled people have access to suitable housing is essential for achieving independent living and enhancing their quality of life. Providing quality, accessible homes for disabled people improves health and well-being, supports better educational attainment, and other benefits. The lack of affordable and accessible housing limits the options available to disabled people, making it difficult for them to find accommodation that supports their independence. Adapting existing properties to make them accessible can be too expensive. Many disabled people face financial challenges, and the high cost of necessary adaptation adds an additional burden. Addressing these financial barriers through grants, subsidies, and inclusive housing policies can help ensure that disabled individuals have equal access to safe, comfortable, and accommodating living environments. The Welsh Government is committed to supporting disabled people to live independently in the community. If disabled people need to make changes to their homes, they can apply for support from the Disabled Facilities Grant or our Enable Support for Living Independently scheme. The Enable scheme helps disabled people with grants for adaptations such as grab rails and stair rails, chair lifts, and building an extension. Additionally, the Welsh Government is committed to working with local authorities to improve the accessibility and coordinated delivery of housing adaptations and the supply of equipment. Disabled people can experience serious deterioration in their mental well-being due to living in unsuitable accommodation. The absence of secure accommodation can negatively impact mental health and physical well-being, leading to further difficulties in securing employment and maintaining relationships. The Welsh Government's White Paper on Ending Homelessness identifies disabled people as requiring additional support to reduce the risk of homelessness. When it isn't safe to stay in their own homes, disabled people and their children facing domestic violence not only need to escape a dangerous environment, but also need to secure accommodation that keeps the families fleeing together and meets their unique accessibility requirements. The Welsh Government recognises the importance of working with local authorities and service providers to improve the provision of accessible accommodation for disabled people, their carers, and their children when fleeing from violence. A lack of accessible and affordable accommodation can negatively impact disabled people, for example, from gypsy and traveller communities limiting their independence and contributing to poorer health outcomes and reduced quality of life. The Welsh Government is committed to collaborating with all communities to understand and address specific housing barriers. 2.3. Embedding and understanding the social model of disability. Outcome 1. Access to public services. Disabled people's right to live in the community is exercised through implementing inclusive planning and design, ensuring equal access to public amenities, facilities and spaces without barriers. Outcome 2. Inclusive and cohesive communities. Disabled people are represented and able to participate fully within their local communities with coordination from the public, private and third sectors, ensuring that any new facilities and services that are open to the public reflect all aspects of accessibility for disabled people and their support networks. The outcomes above align to Article 9 of the UN CRDP, which sets out that countries need to take appropriate measures to ensure disabled people have access on an equal basis with others to the physical environment, to transportation, to information and communications. The social model of disability illustrates a different way of thinking about disability and barriers to inclusion. The social model of disability recognises that disabled people have different experiences because of the barriers created by society through inaccessible environments, people's attitudes and values, for example. Under this model, and by removing those barriers, disabled people can participate fully in society on an equal basis, and society benefits from disabled people's full inclusion. This contrasts with the medical model of disability, which views disabled people as unable to take part in society due to their impairments or differences. This viewpoint can negatively impact not only on disabled people's lives, but how some disabled people see themselves, which can discourage disabled people from challenging their exclusions from mainstream society. Embracing the social model of disability helps to create an equitable society where the rights and contributions of disabled people are valued. Through adopting the social model of disability across society, health and social care services can be transformed to provide inclusive and accessible environments for all disabled people. Educational institutions can ensure that all students have equitable opportunities to learn and flourish, and employers can create accessible and inclusive workplaces that utilise the skills and talents of disabled workers. Welsh Government is committed to the social model of disability and ensuring disabled people are involved in the design, implementation and monitoring of relevant new and improved policies, practices and procedures, and do not create barriers for disabled people. By embedding the social model of disability through our training programmes and into everyday practices, we challenge discrimination against disabled people and foster an inclusive and equitable society. We have already provided social model of disability training to over 200 task force and working group members who have subsequently integrated this knowledge into their own policy areas, organisations and everyday practices. The Welsh Government's Equality, Race and Disability Evidence Units work to improve the availability, quality and granularity of evidence about individuals with protected and associated characteristics to help us understand whether our ambition is being achieved for different groups of people. The evidence units are designing and testing standardised survey questions that reflect the social model of disability, which could be incorporated into future data collections and social research. Disabled people have been actively involved at every stage of the research. 3. Employment, income and education. To achieve the long-term overarching ambitions for education, employment and income described in Chapter 1, this chapter sets out the outcomes we expect to see over a 10-year period as a result of the actions we must all take to ensure disabled people have access to a good standard of living through fair income and employment. Education, employment and income is made up of the following themes: employment and income and education for children and young people. 3.1 Employment, income and education. Outcome 1 Employment and business support. Disabled people can access timely and coordinated advice and evolved services that are knowledgeable and accessible to enable them to achieve equitable access to paid and unpaid volunteering work experience, self-employment and long-term job opportunities, careers. Outcome 2 Inclusive policy and practice. Disabled people are engaged in promoting inclusive recruitment, retention and progression practices. This includes leveraging the public purse to foster behaviours that support an inclusive workforce, remove barriers and create a supportive environment where disabled people can thrive in their careers. Outcome 3 Accessible employers. Disabled people are represented at all levels in the Welsh workforce. Employers are aware of their legal responsibilities and the employment rights of disabled workers. Employers are encouraged to adopt inclusive practices to eliminate prejudice and discrimination in the workplace and promote the equitable recruitment, retention, and progression of disabled workers, understanding that different treatment through the provision of reasonable adjustments is often the means of achieving equity in employment outcomes. Outcome 4. Skill development. Disabled job seekers and workers of all ages understand their employment rights and have the means to exercise them, including through positive action to ensure equitable opportunities for lifelong learning. Disabled people are not disadvantaged in the job market by barriers to education, training, or recruitment support. Disabled people have access to personalised, impartial, professional careers and employability information, advice, support and guidance. Outcome 5. Addressing barriers to income. Disabled people's views are taken into account when engaging with UK Government on reforms to the non-devolved benefits system. Outcome 6. Reduce socio-economic inequality. Socio-economic outcomes for disabled people are improved and inequalities reduced through positive action and delivering on the socio-economic duty across the public sector in Wales. The outcomes above align to Article 27 of the UNCRDP, which sets out disabled people's equal right to gain a living in an open, inclusive and accessible labour market. Countries must take steps to prohibit discrimination in all employment matters and ensure just and favourable working conditions, including protection from harassment and the right to redress grievances. Measures should also be taken to promote employment opportunities, career advancement and self-employment for disabled people, as well as to provide reasonable accommodation in the workplace. Many disabled people who want work cannot access it. Barriers include a lack of accessible workplaces and support when in work, which prevents them from earning a fair wage and achieving job fulfillment. Despite legal requirements set out in the Equality Act, many employers still fail to understand the necessary accommodations required to support disabled people into employment. For the year ending September 2024, the employment rate among disabled people aged 16 to 64 in Wales was 51%, whilst the rate for people who are not disabled was 81%. Disabled workers often also find themselves in lower paying positions. The Wellbeing of Wales Report 2024 indicates the pay disparity between disabled and non-disabled people in Wales was £1.75, 12% in 2023. National Milestones sets the long-term target to eliminate the pay gap for gender, disability and ethnicity by 2050. Amongst working-age adults, 25% of individuals who live in a family where a disabled person lives are in relative income poverty, compared with 18% of those in families where no one identifies as disabled. In 2022 to 23, 1 in 4 disabled people or people with a limiting long-standing illness, 25%, lived in a household in material deprivation, compared with 11% of people who were not disabled. These numbers highlight a concerning disparity that is simply unacceptable in a fair and just society. Ensuring disabled people have access to an equitable standard of living through fair income and work is essential to advancing an inclusive society where everyone can contribute meaningfully. Evidence suggests encouraging applications for employment from disabled people is good for businesses, giving organisations a competitive edge. It can help increase the number of high-quality candidates and create a workforce that reflects its local community. The Disability Confidence Scheme is a UK-wide initiative set up to support employers to make the most of the talent disabled people can bring to the workplace. However, as identified by the Equality and Social Justice Committee, there are some shortcomings of the scheme, including low numbers of public sector organisations attaining the highest Level 3 leader status and trust in the scheme by disabled people. We are committed to collaborating with the UK Government to address these issues. We also want to increase the number of employers in Wales achieving leader status. Our disabled people's employment champions are actively supporting employers across the private and public sectors to achieve this goal. This is complemented by the work of Business Wales Disabled People's Employment Advisors, who support small and medium business enterprises to improve employment practices, and through digital resources available through Business Wales. We're also working to improve our relationship with DWP Disability Advisors to enable us to work together more strategically in our efforts to increase the number of organisations progressing to disability confident leader status. In addition, we have worked with members of the Disability Rights Task Force to co-produce evidence that will test the feasibility of a Welsh-specific scheme. Business Wales is the Welsh Government's leading bilingual business support service for Welsh micro-businesses and small and medium enterprises, including social enterprises and aspiring entrepreneurs of all ages. The Welsh Government employs 5 Disabled People's Employment Champions, DPECs, who bring lived experience and expertise to their roles as permanent members of staff. The DPECs support delivery of the Welsh Government's ambition to improve employment outcomes for disabled people, working both internally and externally. The Welsh Government is committed to promoting the inclusion and rights of disabled people by encouraging organisations and businesses across Wales to appoint dedicated champions to improve disabled people's access to work. Hybrid or flexible working options are particularly important for many disabled people. Hybrid working arrangements can benefit employers and disabled workers. Appropriate arrangements need to be available at the point of employment to ensure disabled people are supported to undertake their roles and responsibilities, and that employers work within the legal frameworks. Support for post-school higher education, skills development and apprenticeships is needed for both young disabled people and those in later life seeking to reskill, supporting empowerment, independence and equality. By supporting inclusive policies and practices, Wales can set a benchmark in creating a society where everyone has the chance to fulfil their potential and contribute in a meaningful way. Disabled people are often viewed as passive recipients of services such as care and support. In reality, disabled people are economic leaders, entrepreneurs and employers. Inclusive economics, where disabled people bring lived experience and expertise, supports the economy to achieve a more prosperous Wales. 3.2 Education for Children and Young People. Outcome 1 Access to education. Disabled children and young people's educational and health needs are identified, responded to and considered in the development of education and health policy. Outcome 2 Inclusive education policy. Disabled learners and staff are meaningfully engaged in the development of education policy through a rights-based approach, having a voice in the planning and provision of support that they receive across all education institutions, including where education is received at home. Outcome 3 Supportive providers of education. Education providers have the resource and understanding necessary to fully incorporate the social model of disability and embed the rights of disabled learners both as children and young people and as disabled people, including through the recruitment of disabled teaching staff and the provision of specialist training and equipment. Outcome 4 Inspection, regulation and compliance. Inclusive and accessible education is delivered for all disabled learners, with robust mechanisms of regulation, inspection and enforcement, supported by an effective programme of monitoring and evaluation that reflects the experiences of disabled learners and identifies and promotes examples of good practice. Outcome 5. Accessible educational settings. Educational settings and other academic institutions are accessible both in their design and in their supporting physical infrastructure, enabling disabled people to learn among their peers and within their local communities. The outcomes above align to Articles 7 and 24 of the UN CRDP. Article 7 sets out countries' requirement to take all necessary measures to ensure disabled children enjoy fully their human rights and fundamental freedoms equally with other children. Article 24 recognises disabled people's right to education, mandating an inclusive system at all levels. Countries must ensure disabled people are included in general education, provide reasonable accommodations, and support effective learning. This includes teaching Braille and British Sign Language to people, employing qualified teachers, and ensuring access to higher education and lifelong learning without discrimination. Inclusion in mainstream settings promotes a sense of belonging and community, essential for the social and emotional well-being of every child and young person. The right of disabled children to access mainstream education alongside their peers continues to be our ambition. Inclusion and access for disabled children during their early years and throughout their school life are essential for them to achieve their potential. Early inclusion and participation ensure children develop a strong sense of belonging and self-worth, which is foundational for their overall development. However, their experiences vary, depending on the availability of the right support and access to inclusive early childcare and play, learning, and care experiences and opportunities. Access to the right types of resources and support for disabled children to engage in play and educational activities is essential to children's development. As they progress through school, continued inclusion and access to tailored educational opportunities help them build essential skills, confidence, and independence. This supportive environment not only enhances their academic achievements but also prepares children and young people for a successful and fulfilling future, empowering them to contribute meaningfully to society. Disabled children and young people often face extra challenges they must overcome if they wish to take part fully in society and live life on their own terms. Improving accessibility and support is crucial to ensuring disabled children and young people have the best beginning. Some children and young people may need more help in school to achieve their full potential. It is important to recognise that not all disabled children and young people have additional learning needs (ALM). The support required may be for better access to a premises or quieter area at school, for example. Some parents and carers report that some children with ALN continue to experience barriers to accessing education, widening the gap in their educational performance compared to their peers. In 2023-24, 34% of GCSE entries by pupils in Year 11 with an additional learning need were awarded a grade A* to C, down from 37% in 2022-23. A decrease in the overall national GCSE grade distribution in 2023-24 was expected following the return to pre-pandemic standards. As of the 2023-24 academic year, there were 2,597 pupils in Wales receiving some type of education other than at school, EOTAS. In 2023-24, there were proportionately significantly more pupils with ALN, mainly educated outside school, than in the general student population. The Welsh Government remains dedicated to ensuring all children are able to exercise their right to education regardless of their differences, receive a high-quality inclusive education and the opportunity to succeed. The Curriculum and Assessment Wales Act 2021, the Act, sets out the duty to promote knowledge and understanding of both UN conventions on the rights of children and the rights of disabled people. Schools and other settings must promote knowledge and understanding of the two conventions among those who provide learning and teaching in respect of their school or setting's curriculum. Welsh Government's Hub provides a range of digital content and tools to education settings in Wales to support the transformation of digital teaching and learning practices, including guidance on the two conventions. We are committed to ensuring training programmes are provided to improve outcomes for disabled children and young people. Welsh-speaking children with ALN may face additional barriers when accessing education. The Additional Learning Needs and Education Tribunal Wales Act 2018 places a duty on local authorities to improve Welsh language provision for learners with additional learning needs and for workforce planning with the additional learning needs sector. This is monitored through local authorities' Welsh in Education strategic plans. Universities work collaboratively to achieve equality commitments, including widening participation and identifying equality gaps in attainment. They have supporting networks and equalities leads in place to support and monitor the progress. The Welsh Government wants to ensure that all disabled children have the best possible start in life. Inclusive early years provision lays strong foundations for a child's development. Early years childcare should be fully accessible to disabled children. We are committed to reviewing how the Childcare and Early Years Capital Programme supports the accessibility of the physical environment for inclusive, registered childcare and play services. 1 or 2 babies in every 1,000 are born with a hearing impairment that may affect their speech and language development. Newborn hearing screening helps to find those babies and offer help and support from the start. For a child who is identified as deaf or having hearing impairment at any age, language and communication needs are considered at the earliest stage in Wales by audiologists. If a communication need is identified, then a referral is made to qualified teachers of the deaf and/or speech and language therapists. Options may include spoken language, British Sign Language, sign-supported English, Makaton, or a combination of spoken and sign language, including bilingualism, depending on what is considered best for the child, following assessment and collaboration between families and professionals. Outcomes of referrals are monitored within the Audiology Individual Patient Management Plan. The Welsh Government is also committed to developing accessible, high-quality, responsive and citizen-centred services which meet the needs of all deaf-blind people in Wales. Language acquisition for all babies is vital. Both parents and deaf babies, children, should be provided with the opportunity to learn BSL and access deaf BSL signing role models. Early assessment support and access to language for deaf babies and children are essential to their cognitive and linguistic development. Strong, effective communication through BSL supports healthy and positive relationships between parents and carers and their children. We will continue to work to improve early assessment and support for deaf babies and children. The Welsh Government remains committed to supporting British Sign Language BSL and to furthering the use, knowledge and expertise of the language in Wales. It is our intention to design and develop policy which delivers the greatest positive impact for the BSL signing community of Wales, making provisions to promote and facilitate the use of BSL and its tactile forms and removing existing language barriers. BSL has been integrated into the new Skills for Life qualification, which will be available in all schools from September 2027. This change allows for a comprehensive approach, addressing the need for qualified teachers and embracing regional dialect differences in BSL. 4. Independent living. To achieve the long-term overarching ambitions for independent living described in Chapter 1, this chapter sets out the outcomes we expect to see over a 10-year period as a result of the actions we must all take to ensure disabled people have the same freedom, dignity, choice and control as other citizens at home, work, in education and in the community. Independent living is made up of the following themes: well-being and health, care and support. 4.1 Well-being. Outcome 1 Access to well-being experiences. Disabled people have equitable opportunity and rights to participate in the delivery and enjoyment of enriching experiences across art, sport, heritage and culture. They are supported to do so by workforces and organisations that value the contribution of disabled people and understand their role in protecting disabled people's right to participation in cultural and sporting life. Outcome 2 Inclusive recreation and play. From childhood, disabled people can engage in local accessible play, recreation and leisure activities alongside their peers, including through disability-specific events with the equipment and instruction necessary to overcome barriers to participation. Outcome 3 Equal expression and communication. Disabled people can engage with local services and express themselves freely in their preferred languages, both verbal and non-verbal. They are enabled through the provision of resource and training to access technologies that support all forms of communication, including British Sign Language and Welsh. The outcomes above align to Article 30 of the UN CRDP, which sets out that disabled people have the right to participate in cultural life, recreation, leisure and sport on an equal basis with others. Additionally, under the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, UNCRC, which applies to all children, Article 15 sets out the right for children to meet and join groups, and Article 31 the right to play. The well-being and inclusion of disabled people in culture, heritage, art, sport and leisure are key to a lively and inclusive society. By removing barriers and promoting accessibility, we make the lives of disabled people better and create communities where everyone can take part and contribute to. However, disabled people continue to face barriers to accessing cultural, heritage, art, sport and leisure activities. Physical barriers, promoter venue policy, proportional ticketing, lack of information and inadequate training of staff are common problems. The move towards a cashless society is also a barrier for many disabled people. Accessible leisure and retail facilities can help the local economy by attracting more customers. Additionally, accessible leisure and retail facilities improves inclusion, equality and community engagement. However, the 2016-17 National Survey for Wales found the most commonly reported type of building that disabled people had difficulty accessing and using was shops, 45% of disabled people, followed by hospitals, 38%. Of those who had difficulty accessing public buildings, 41% said their difficulty related to moving around the building, 25% reported parking problems as a difficulty, and 22% reported inadequate lifts and inadequate toilet facilities. By making exhibitions and performances accessible through provisions such as British Sign Language, audio descriptions and neurodivergent friendly environments, society helps ensure that disabled people can engage with and contribute to the preservation and celebration of our diverse cultural heritage. The arts serve as a great way for people to express themselves and take part in the local community. Inclusive arts programs and accessible venues provide an opportunity for disabled artists to showcase their skills and talents and share their views, challenge stereotypes and promote inclusion. Welsh Government continues to support High Jinks, a professional theatre company working to pioneer, produce and promote opportunities for actors with learning disabilities and/or autism to create theatre and film productions. Participation in sports and leisure activities is important for physical health, mental well-being, and relationships. Accessible sports facilities and inclusive programs support disabled people to experience the rewards of an active lifestyle. Sports also provide opportunities for teamwork and creating a sense of belonging and mutual support. Welsh Government will continue to work with Disability Sport Wales, who aim to create an inclusive sports sector. Welsh Government is taking proactive steps to increase the availability and quality of accessible exhibitions, performances, matches and events, ensuring they are accessible and inclusive. This includes efforts to remove physical barriers, and discriminatory ticketing policies show clearly provision of British Sign Language, audio description, autism-friendly performances. 4.2 Health Care and Support. Outcome 1 Coordinated and timely care. Disabled people of all ages are empowered to exercise their right to the highest attainable standard of health through coordinated, seamless and timely access to the right care and support, which addresses current inequalities and overcomes existing barriers, including those faced during transfer between providers or age-related services. Outcome 2 Accessible care settings. Disabled people receive care and support within social care settings, both in person or remote, that are accessible, equipped with the facilities and functionality to ensure all access needs are met across all ages. Disabled people have autonomy to choose how and where they receive their care and support. Outcome 3 Right-centred and person-centred care policy. Disabled people participate in shaping policies related to their care and support through inclusive and collaborative approaches. Policies and guidance provided to health boards and Welsh NHS bodies aim to reflect the Welsh Government's commitment to embedding the social model of disability and removing barriers that limit the independent living options. This commitment promotes the rights of disabled people in health, social care and independent living. Outcome 4 Supportive care providers. Disabled people have equal access to health and social care services. Health and social care and support services providers are properly equipped to meet the varied and intersectional needs of disabled children and adults, with workforces that understand disabled people's rights, the social model of disability, and their own obligations under the Social Services and Wellbeing Act, working collaboratively across organisations to improve quality and care. Outcome 5 Reduced inequalities in care. Disabled people are represented within the governance of health and social care, with a renewed focus on removing discrimination and promoting proactive, accessible practices to improve service standards for all disabled people, including those with intersectional needs. Outcome 6 Transparent communication in care. Disabled people understand their rights to access health and social care and are empowered through the broadened All Wales Accessible Communication and Information Standards, when published, and the Welsh Language Active Offer, to communicate freely with their care providers and support networks using the formats and languages that best meet their individual need. The outcomes above align to Articles 25 and 19 of the UNCRDP. Article 25 of the UNCRDP, which sets out disabled people's equal right to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health without discrimination on the basis of being a disabled person. Article 19 of the UNCRDP, a pivotal right in the treaty, sets out disabled people's right to independent living and community participation. It requires measures by countries to enable full enjoyment of this right, allowing individuals to choose where and with whom they live without being forced into specific living arrangements. In the 2021 census, the proportion of people in Wales who reported to be disabled was 21%. The 2016-17 National Survey for Wales showed that 38% of disabled people reported having difficulty accessing hospitals. Of those who reported difficulties, 44% identified issues with moving around the building, stairs, doors, narrow corridors, parking problems, 38%, inadequate lifts or escalators, 26%. Accessing healthcare can be particularly challenging for disabled people, and evidence demonstrates poorer health outcomes for disabled people. The overview of mortality amongst people with a learning disability in Wales 2012 to 2022 showed that there was roughly a disparity of 2 decades in the typical age of death with the wider population. For those with mobility impairments, inadequate parking facilities, inaccessible clinics and hospitals can make it difficult to attend appointments. The failure to provide interpretation services for disabled people, including British Sign Language, can prevent or complicate access to healthcare services for deaf people and people with sensory impairments such as deaf-blind people and blind or partially sighted people. These barriers can lead to missed appointments, delayed treatments, and poorer health outcomes. Providing inclusive healthcare requires the provision of accessible facilities, including parking, and effective communication support to ensure that all disabled people receive the care they need. In 2018, the Welsh Government published its National Strategic 10-Year Plan for Health and Social Care, A Healthier Wales. A Healthier Wales sets out a vision for everyone in Wales to have longer, healthier and happier lives, and to be able to remain active, independent and in their own homes for as long as possible, supported by an integrated health and care system. To ensure the actions taken under A Healthier Wales over the next few years remain the right ones, the Welsh Government recently published 35 refreshed actions. These actions have been designed around what an effective health and care system should look like. We have chosen core principles which reflect our ambitions, one of which focuses on person-centred care, where we want our approach to be person-centred so that people can receive the right care they need at the right time and in the right place, and one which aims to reduce health inequalities by ensuring equality of access to the health and social care system to achieve equity of outcomes. The Welsh Government is determined to ensure access and inclusion is considered fully from the start of every disabled person's healthcare journey. This includes the accessibility of 111 and the NHS Wales app, suitable parking facilities, to the inclusivity of GP surgeries and hospitals. The Learning Disability Strategic Action Plan is delivering the commitments made in the Improving Lives programme, seeking to improve outcomes through increasing access to annual health checks and delivering the Paul Ridd Learning Disability Training for health staff. The All Wales Standards for Accessible Communication and Information for People with Sensory Loss, the standards, aim to ensure individuals with sensory impairments receive appropriate communication support when accessing healthcare services. These standards expect healthcare providers to offer information in accessible formats such as large print, braille and audio, and ensure effective communication methods are in place for people who are deaf, hard of hearing, blind or those with partial sight. In 2023, the Welsh Government committed to broaden and renew the standards to ensure they represent people with other types of impairment. The effectiveness of these broadened standards, when implemented, will be regularly reviewed to promote inclusive healthcare. The Welsh Government is committed to ensuring the health and social care workforce, including prison health staff, is knowledgeable in understanding the social model of disability and embedding it into their practice through comprehensive training for all healthcare staff on the diverse needs of disabled people. Timely and coordinated hospital discharge processes support the well-being and recovery of disabled people. Prolonged hospital stays can delay recovery, increase the risk of picking up hospital-acquired infections, and lead to mental health issues such as anxiety. There is sometimes an imbalance in our health and social care system and missed opportunities for prevention and early intervention in the community. The Welsh Government's Hospital Discharge Guidance sets out advice on hospital discharge standards for health, social care, third and independent sector partners in Wales. The Office for National Statistics found that in England and Wales, disabled people had higher rates of dying by suicide than non-disabled people. The Welsh Government's mental health and wellbeing strategy aims to improve and protect the mental health and wellbeing of people in Wales. The strategy recognises that disabled people and neurodivergent people are at particular risk of experiencing poor mental health and wellbeing. The strategy acknowledges the need to recognise the specific rights of individuals so services are available on an equitable basis. The suicide prevention and self-harm prevention strategy also adopts a rights-based approach and references the need to embed children's rights and disabled people's rights into service design and delivery. Healthcare professionals must recognise and respond to impairments in babies and infants promptly to support their development and well-being. Early intervention ensures that children receive the necessary care and resources to thrive, minimising the impact of any challenges they may face. The Healthy Child Wales programme has been created following an NHS Wales-led review of the way we currently support families with young children in Wales. The Welsh Government is committed to ensuring disabled children and adults have seamless access to healthcare, including mental health services. We are dedicated to promoting accessible and inclusive positive transition arrangements into adult services. Accessibility is not just about compliance, but about creating an inclusive digital environment for all. Artificial intelligence, AI, holds great promise for improving access to healthcare for disabled people if delivered in a safe, responsible, and ethical way. Considered implementation and continuous evaluation of AI technologies will be needed to ensure disabled people receive equality in healthcare. We have created some high-level principles to help guide the responsible use of AI by the public sector in Wales so that it is ethical, trustworthy, and aligned with the values and interests of the people of Wales, inclusive, accessible, and beneficial for everyone, especially to those who are most disadvantaged, innovative, collaborative, and supportive of our research and development ecosystem, and transparent, accountable, and subject to the right governance and oversight. The Workforce Partnership Council published their Using Artificial Intelligence at Work guidance, which highlights the ethical considerations of using AI in the workplace. The Centre for Digital Public Services, CDPS, has also published broader cross-sector guidance on the use of AI technologies. Aligned with this, the Equalities and Human Rights Commission have published guidance on the need to consider the PSED from the very outset of any AI plans. The Artificial Intelligence Commission for Health and Social Care is a senior advisory group of specialists and leaders representing the health, social care and life sciences sectors. The Commission works collaboratively across the sector and with national and international partners to advise and provide direction on the regulation and adoption of safe, responsible and ethical AI for health and social care in Wales. An analysis of coronavirus COVID-19 related deaths by disability status, England and Wales, 2nd of March to the 14th of July 2020, showed that in Wales disabled people made up almost 7 in 10, 68% of all deaths. The Locked Out report highlighted a number of areas in which disabled people were disproportionately affected during the pandemic, many of which may have contributed to increased health risks, such as access to healthcare, housing, income, employment, and social exclusion. The incorporation of ethical considerations into healthcare is vital, particularly when meeting the needs and rights of disabled people. Ensuring that disabled people are involved in the development and implementation of healthcare policies promotes equity and inclusion. Health economic measures have an important role in helping us understand and compare the impact of different health treatments and conditions. However, there are limitations for some tools, such as quality-adjusted life years, which may oversimplify disabled people's life experiences to numbers. Welsh Government is committed to ensuring healthcare is provided equitably to disabled people in Wales through its network to support consistent standards and functioning for clinical ethics advisory groups across NHS Wales. Disabled people have the right to inclusive health and social care services, but these can be challenging to access. Improving the infrastructure and technology of health and social care services, as well as supporting the workforce in understanding the social model of disability, can improve access for disabled people. With the right support, many disabled people can continue to live independently. Disabled people's organisations play a crucial role in this process, providing invaluable support and advocacy. The Social Services and Wellbeing Wales Act 2014 sets out the principles of voice, choice and control for people needing care and support, including disabled people. The Social Services and Wellbeing Wales Act 2014 Code of Practice Part 2 lays out the need for local authorities to promote well-being and protect individuals. It focuses on preventing the need for care and support through promoting well-being, supporting disabled people and carers. Local authorities provide a variety of preventative services, offer information on community well-being services, and give advice on direct payments and care charges. This helps people plan for their future care needs. Additionally, authorities ensure practitioners and individuals collaborate as equal partners to plan and deliver care and support. Supporting disabled people's voice, choice and control and independence requires robust infrastructure in areas such as social care, transportation, employment and direct payments. Direct payments are funds provided by the local authority. They are aimed at people regardless of impairments but can include disabled children and adults. On the 31st of March 2023, 50,114 adults had a care and support plan, of which 11% had a care and support plan supported using direct payments. Direct payments are available for social care services and can significantly enhance the independence and therefore quality of life of disabled people and those with long-term care needs by providing greater voice, choice and control. The Health and Social Care Wales Bill, introduced on the 20th of May 2024, includes provision for the introduction of direct payments for continuing healthcare, CHC, in Wales. The Welsh Government is contributing to the co-production of research to explore the concept of establishing a national centre for independent living led by disabled people in Wales. Findings from this research will represent stakeholder perspectives on a range of aspects for a national centre, including the prospective enablers, aims, functions and practical considerations. The Welsh Government Strategy for an Ageing Society, published in 2021, sets out the action we will take to prepare for the future. It considers the many things that influence how we age, such as health and social care, transport, and even the way we socialise, work and care for others. The strategy aims to change the way we think and feel about ageing. By acknowledging and valuing the contributions of all older people in Wales, we can work across generations to create an age-friendly Wales. Our vision is for an age-friendly Wales that celebrates age and, in line with the UN principles for older persons a nation that upholds the independence, participation, care, self-fulfillment and dignity of older people at all times. 5. Justice and supporting environments. To achieve the long-term overarching ambitions for justice and supporting environments described in Chapter 1, this chapter sets out the outcomes we expect to see over a 10-year period as a result of the actions we take to ensure disabled people can access justice and have supportive environments. Justice and supporting environments is made up of the following themes: access to justice and accessible and supporting environments. 5.1 Access to justice. Outcome 1 Influence on reserve powers. Disabled people's experiences with reserve functions of the legal and justice systems are improved through continued engagement with the UK government to champion the rights of disabled people, better coordinated supporting services, and pursue improved outcomes for those interacting at all stages of the process. Outcome 2 Effective access to civil and criminal justice. Disabled people in Wales are educated on their rights in relation to justice, whether as a claimant, victim, or perpetrator of crime, and have access to appropriate and local legal advice and complaints procedures that can meet their needs for community care, education, housing, immigration and asylum, and welfare benefits wherever they are in Wales. Outcome 3 Violence, sexual abuse and domestic violence. Disabled victims, survivors of violence, sexual abuse and domestic abuse have access to appropriately resourced, high-quality, needs-led, strength-based, intersectional and responsive services across Wales. Outcome 4 Representative legislation. The rights enshrined in the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and the Social Model of Disability are recognised within policy and, where appropriate and possible, legislation based on the ongoing review of existing legislation. Outcome 5 Evidence. Through independent research, analysis of existing data, and engagement with partner agencies, disabled people's outcomes and experiences with the legal and justice systems are better understood, providing a robust evidence base to support the case for an accessible and inclusive system. The outcomes above align to Article 5 of the UNCRDP, which sets out that all individuals are equal before the law and entitled to equal protection and benefits without discrimination. It mandates countries prohibit discrimination based on disability and ensures equal legal protection for disabled people. Hate crime remains a significant issue for disabled people across the UK, mainly due to persistent societal prejudices and misconceptions about disability. These crimes are often underreported, partly because victims may fear not being taken seriously or may lack confidence in the support systems available. Additionally, disability hate crimes can sometimes be perpetrated by those close to the victim, complicating the reporting and prosecution processes. Although hate crime recorded by the police in the UK, where disability was a motivating factor, decreased from 849 in 2022 to 23 to 752 in 2023 to 24, the number of these crimes remains unacceptably high. According to the Chief Crown Prosecutor and National Hate Crime Lead in investigating and prosecuting disability hate crime is one of the most pervasive and underreported forms of hate crime. It is an insidious crime that can manifest itself in overt violence or subtle yet deeply harmful acts of prejudice and targeting. Its impact on individuals and communities remains far-reaching and profound. We must continue to take action to address and prevent these horrendous crimes, ensuring that disabled people are protected and supported at all levels of society. The Welsh Government is committed to challenging these misconceptions and advocating for the rights and protection of disabled people. To improve the understanding of hate crime, the Welsh Government is committed to collaborating with disabled people's organisations to make information accessible, particularly for people with learning disabilities, and to ensure disabled people recognise hate crimes, know how to report these crimes, and understand where to seek support. Additionally, Welsh Government's Hate Hurts Wales 2025-27 will include a focus on crimes against disabled people. The Welsh Government is committed to ensuring that disabled survivors and victims of crime have equal access to high-quality and responsive services across Wales. We are also committed to advocating for better access to data on the disabled population in prisons, including women prisoners from Wales who are housed in England. This effort is crucial for understanding and addressing the needs of disabled people in prisons. We know that disabled people, particularly those who are neurodivergent, are overrepresented in the criminal justice system. Training on the social model of disability for staff is important to fostering an inclusive and supportive environment for disabled individuals in the justice system. The Welsh Government is committed to ensuring prisoners are assessed appropriately and early to ensure equal access to education in Wales. We are allocating £1.2 million of additional funding to support the delivery of the Violence Against Women and Domestic Abuse and Sexual Violence strategy to provide victims with support and advice across all areas of Wales through regional grant funding. Additionally, the Welsh Government will review provision of support services for disabled survivors of abuse in Wales through the Violence Against Women, Domestic Abuse and Sexual Abuse VAWDASV whole system approach to sustainable commissioning work stream. The Welsh Government's Information and Advice Quality Framework IAQF is designed to assist members of the public in the selection of sources of support by providing assurance that information and advice services offer high-quality interventions. The IAQF Wales is particularly focused on social welfare advice topics that directly support these goals, most importantly welfare benefits, financial inclusion including debt and money advice, housing and homelessness, employment, immigration and discrimination. Welsh Government will continue its support for the IAQF Wales and will make resources available to support a strategically planned framework of social welfare advice services across Wales that targets key population groups, including disabled people, improving their access to quality assured impartial social welfare advice. 5.2 Accessible and supporting environments. Outcome 1 A discrimination-free society. Bullying in schools of disabled children, harmful and discriminatory attitudes towards disabled people, including stereotypes, are challenged on a societal level with a collective understanding of disabled people's rights, experiences, needs, and history ensured to drive forward an inclusive culture instilled throughout the public, private and third sectors to improve outcomes for all. Outcome 2 Support for disabled people's organisations. Disabled people's organisations, DPOs, across Wales have a strategic role in advocating for the rights of disabled people and are supported through the funding, capacity and financial security necessary to further their positive impact. Their value and expertise are reflected in both the support and opportunities they receive from the Welsh Government and other organisations and their involvement in policy and service development throughout the public sector in Wales. Outcome 3. Inclusive public services. Public bodies in Wales have increased resource, understanding and lived experience at all levels to incorporate the social model of disability and uphold the rights of disabled people, and are held to account against the public sector equality duty by leadership and scrutiny bodies that ensure the fair representation of disabled people. Outcome 4. Inclusive politics. Disabled people in Wales participate actively in political and public life, which enriches the democratic process, leading to a more just and equitable Wales. Outcome 5. The Welsh Government. Disabled people in Wales are represented by a government that values, understands and respects them, enshrining disabled people's rights in policy and law. The Welsh Government draws upon lived experience in leadership and throughout the organisation, and works with stakeholders to achieve substantive societal change. The outcomes above align to Article 9 and Article 8 of the UNCRPD. Article 9 of the UNCRPD, which focuses on accessibility, emphasising the need for countries to ensure disabled people have access to information, communications and other services, including electronic service. Article 8 of the UNCRPD, which sets out countries' need to raise societal awareness about disabled persons, combat stereotypes and prejudices, and promote respect for their rights and dignity. Measures include public awareness campaigns, education initiatives, media guidelines, and training programs to foster positive perceptions and social awareness. In our increasingly digital world, the exclusion of disabled people due to the lack of accessible technology remains a significant barrier to equality. Many applications are not designed with accessibility in mind, leading to difficulties in access to transport, work and leisure. Approximately 7%, or 170,000 adults in Wales, continue to be digitally excluded, and the move to a cashless society continues to create a barrier for many disabled people. Mencap Cymru has called for both cash and cards to continue to be used at shops and restaurants to ensure disabled and older people are not excluded and discriminated against. This lack of accessible technology obstructs disabled people's ability to participate fully in various aspects of daily life. As set out in the Equality Act 2010, reasonable adjustments must be made to ensure that disabled people have equal access to these technologies. However, without accessible technology, the potential of digital tools to enhance independence and inclusion is lost, perpetuating cycles of exclusion and inequality. Welsh Government has committed through its Learning Disability Strategic Action Plan to reviewing the appropriate use of technology and digital options to maximise engagement and build and improve connections for people with learning difficulties. The Welsh Government is working to ensure that appropriate Welsh language assistive software, including bilingual speech recognition and synthesis, is easily available to improve the well-being of disabled people. Through its Welsh Language Technology Action Plan, Welsh Government has financed a technical innovation to support Welsh speakers at risk of losing their voice due to health conditions such as motor neuron disease or throat cancer. The Llaethwr tool allows individuals to bank their own voice and create a new personal synthetic voice, which they'll be able to use if they do lose their voice. Another speech-based accessibility tool is Trawsgrifwyr, Bangor University's bilingual speech-to-text tool to facilitate transcription and subtitle generation. Journalism, social media, and the media industry play a crucial role in shaping public perceptions and attitudes towards disabled people. Negative portrayals can contribute to the marginalisation of disabled people, reinforcing negative attitudes and creating barriers to inclusion. An informed and inclusive approach, highlighting the achievements, rights and contributions of disabled people, is needed to improve outcomes for disabled people. The Welsh Government is committed to raising public awareness, challenging discrimination of disabled people, promoting positive attitudes towards disabled people, and collaboration with stakeholders to ensure policies are inclusive. Welsh Government aims to continue to integrate the views and expertise of disabled people into all aspects of society, including local and national democratic structures. It is important that individuals' lived experience is able to inform discussion and outcomes, and that this results in a better, more inclusive environment for disabled people actively participate in shaping the decisions that impact on their daily lives. Engaging with political parties and supporting broader initiatives that seek to increase the representation of disabled people in politics is key to ensuring this active participation driven by mutual respect. The Welsh Government is committed to making the Senedd and local government more diverse and representative of the people they serve. Disabled people are likely to face greater costs when seeking elected office due to their impairments. A key action of our Diversity in Democracy programme was the delivery of our pilot Access to Elected Office Fund for Wales. An independent evaluation of the arrangements was undertaken, and the report concluded there was overwhelming support for the fund and that it should be retained. The Elections and Elected Bodies Wales Act 2024 builds on our work to date and includes a range of measures aimed at creating a more inclusive political environment. This includes the requirement for the Welsh ministers to establish and maintain a fund to support disabled candidates with the additional costs associated with standing for election. Work is underway to deliver these arrangements. We have recently consulted on draft guidance to support registered political parties in Wales to develop, publish, implement and regularly review diversity and inclusion strategies for Welsh elections. Collect and publish diversity information about candidates for Senedd elections and elected members, and consider steps they may take in relation to voluntary quotas for women. 6. Governance, monitoring and evaluation. The outcomes in this plan reflect disabled people's human rights and aspirations. Disabled people must be able to participate fully in all aspects of life without facing barriers or discrimination. The Disabled People's Inclusion Team will work with Welsh Government's Disability Disparity Evidence Unit, DDEU, to measure the change resulting from this plan. The DDEU will set out a model which explains how change is expected to follow the actions set out and the evidence needed to measure change. We will use this evidence to assess the rollout of the plan and whether it is being delivered in a way to achieve its desired outcomes. We will establish an external advisory board to provide advice and support on the implementation, delivery and impact of the Disabled People's Rights Plan. The external advisory board will include people with lived experience and expertise, representatives from disabled people's organisations and other key stakeholders. The board will seek views from disabled adults and children, ensuring that their opinions are listened to. This inclusive approach will promote transparency and accountability, driving continuous improvement in how the plan is executed. Moreover, the boards will work closely with various sectors, including employment, education and healthcare, to ensure that disabled people have equitable access to opportunities and resources. By highlighting best practices and successful initiatives, the board will help replicate effective strategies across Wales, contributing to an inclusive society. Ultimately, the external advisory board will play a crucial role in embedding equality for disabled people within the Welsh policies and actions, striving towards a future where everyone can participate fully and without discrimination. The ministerial-led Disability Equality Forum will continue to bring together disabled people, policymakers, service providers, researchers, and other stakeholders. The forum will be guided by the principles of the social model of disability and will aim to influence the plans and strategies of various sectors and levels of government. The forum will also continue to serve as a platform for sharing good practice, learning from each other, and building alliances across different groups and interests. We will continue to work with Welsh Government's Disabled People's Employment Champions. Our Disabled People's Employment Working Group is well placed to review our progress on inclusion and access to work and apprenticeships. We will meet regularly with our equality leads across Welsh Government to ensure this cross-government plan delivers positive outcomes for disabled people. Disabled People's Organisations, DPOs, funded by Welsh Government, will continue to be the main way of communication and engagement with the wider disabled community in Wales. The DPOs represent the different voices and interests of disabled people and will have a role in gathering views from their stakeholders at grassroots and bringing their feedback, concerns and suggestions back to the forum for discussion and challenge. This plan will use existing and developing strategies across Welsh Government as levers for changing our landscape. Mainstreaming the social model of disability across policy means that all policies and strategies include disabled people, their needs and preferences, and that equality for disabled people is embedded in all decision-making processes. 7. Glossary. Barriers are hurdles that prevent people from accessing prospects or services. They can be physical, like steps and no ramps, or social, like prejudice and discrimination. Co-production is about working together with people who use services to design and deliver those services. It values everyone's input equally. Devolved and reserved powers. The relationship between the United Kingdom and Wales is defined by a system of devolved and reserved powers. Devolved powers are those transferred from the UK Parliament to the Welsh Parliament, Senedd Cymru, allowing Wales to legislate on areas such as health, education and local government. Reserved powers remain under the control of the UK Parliament and include matters like defence, foreign affairs, welfare and immigration. Intersectionality is related to the way in which different types of discrimination, i.e. unfair treatment because of a person's protected characteristics, are connected to and affect each other. Lived experience. This refers to the knowledge and expertise gained from people's own experiences. It's often used to inform and improve services and policies. Social model of disability. This model views disability as a result of barriers in society, not the individual's impairment or health condition. It focuses on removing these barriers to ensure people can participate fully in society. Well-being is about a person's own experience of feeling good in life. It includes mental, physical, and emotional well-being.